Hello. Hi, everyone. I just made the announcement, so we shall see who shows up to join us tonight, depending on where in the world you are. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, I think. Yes, I'm going to share my screen. So, present, just share screen. Allow. Okay, so I added it to the stream, so now you're able to see it. And then I'm gonna go back to our Google Doc that we had last time when we were working on this. And then I'm gonna wait like maybe 2 minutes and see if like people just need, a few minutes to trickle in or something like that. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hi to our 10 viewers. We're all besties over here. Okay, so I guess what I want you all to do, if you can hear this, is I need you to confirm for me that you can see my screen where it has like this Google Doc outline. You can hear me clearly, but you can also see me. So like if you can confirm those 3 things for me in the chat, just like a I'm good or like a, all 3 works or just something that lets me know that you can like see me, hear me, and see my screen properly, that would be awesome. That would be perfect. Where's my mouse? Oh, it's gone. Okay. I'm not seeing any confirmation, so I'm gonna assume that. Well, actually, I don't know what to assume. Should I assume that you can't hear me? That's why you're not typing anything in the chat, being like, "Hey, confirmed," or you actually can hear me. You're just so distracted, whatever you're multitasking with. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Copy link. I'm going to share the check-in link, though. So you can check in. In the meantime, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get started and just assume that everybody can hear me, assume that people can see me, and just assume that everything works okay technically. So as a recap, maybe you're watching this from before. Let me just zoom in here and maybe zoom in a little bit more. The idea is that we're building an API that is getting access to referral data. So let's say I'm a person and I want to submit referrals for my friends, and I want to keep track of everybody I want to submit referrals for, people who want referrals from me. I would share a link with my name, and basically people would click on that and they'd be able to like upload their information. So their resume, their name, email, etc. And I will then take that information and use to submit a referral for my friend or submit a referral for a coworker, or not a coworker, I guess, because you're trying to submit a referral. So like not a coworker, but like submit the referral for the person, right? So that's the idea. And so what we're building is we're building an API that does exactly that. Because I had seen that on LinkedIn that somebody had built and I thought it was really cool. So I wanted to do it with Java. And so this is 2 parts, right? The first part was where we literally did everything you could see on the screen. And we also went on here and we set up our files for our project. So if I go to maybe here, okay, so let's close this. Somebody had told me if I was inside of here, and I press like a dot or something like that, my main branch. Oh no. Let me close this. That if I press the dot, wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah, so now my code editor is open, and so we can basically go ahead and write our code. So it should start to show up. I wish I could remove dark mode. Load latest. So that should have something. No. Oh, maybe not main. Let's do a different branch. I think the branch was called, oh, oops. The branch was called this. So I'm trying to pull it up so you can see perfect. So this was all of the code that we had, right? So this is what we like our pom.xml file and all these things that are, we needed for the web, for the app. We basically had that. And so that was what part one was all about. It was literally all about setting up our technical stuff, thinking about our idea and what we're going to do. And so the goal really with this second part is to actually write the code. It should be pretty simple, I'm hoping. It should be very straightforward. So if you're watching this back or if you are watching this live, hi, it should be pretty easy to just follow along and write the code. Another thing I want to say before we jump into it is also don't forget to check in. The link is in the comment so you can be able to get points for attending this session. If you want to get your cool swag, make sure you check in. And then finally, I also want to mention just like a quick recap about APIs, right? So the idea of an API is that it's basically giving you access to somebody's database to information through like the internet, like through a network, right? And so you can customize your own API, figure out like what type of requests you're allowed to get, instead of just giving somebody like the keys to your database and them like having access to all of it. You can control what people have access to. And many of the different technologies that you can think of literally have their own APIs. They might not let everybody access them. They might be internal APIs that the company or the software uses to run their business. But for the most part, when you think about a back end, when you think about like how services access information from each other, it's typically often through APIs. And Java is a really great language that you can use to build your own. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just get started on this because it doesn't look like there are a lot of people here. So it seems like it's going to be mostly like rewatches, which is fine. That's okay. It is a Thursday night after all. Is it Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Spring website that we were using. And I'm also going to I might actually do like a situation of, like, what is it called? Give me 1 second. I want to make this like 2. Does that make sense? Like I want to do like new thing, etc. And then I want to like drag this out. And then I want to make both of them side by side. Perfect. 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 Okay, so now we're going to have our code editor here. We're going to have this Spring.io guide that's helping us figure out how to build the framework of our API on this side. And then I'm going to close this. And then actually, I'm going to close this one as well and close this one as well. And I think I want to have maybe keep this here. Oh my God, that was not what I meant to do. Control C. I'm going to close this. Okay, so where do we want to put that? Maybe we can put it here. Alrighty, cool. So now we know what we want to work on, right? We know, I'm going to make this a little bit more zoomed so you can see it. We know what we want to work on, and we have this idea right here. So we did our pom.xml already. Oh, wait, I just realized you can't see both screens. So let me remove from stream. Let me stop sharing. Let me present again. So share screen. And then let me go ahead and do like, can you do like two things? Getting started. I'm trying to, let me think. Can you share two? Screen one. Oh, screen two. Perfect. 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 Okay, so add to stream. Perfect. This is perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Okay, so now we're going back to setting this up, right? So we're talking about the library project, which we did, and then a Gradle build file with the necessary dependencies. We also got that, but we're not using Gradle, we're using Maven. We're not doing this because we didn't get it from there. So we have our pom.xml. We have this. And so now we're going to work on the My Service component. So this is going to be inside of initial, and I think it's under library in source, main, Java, multi-module library, multi-module, referee service, and referrer service. So we have this. Maybe what we could do is so what is this code doing? This code is providing a class that's going to be used by other applications. Okay, so this is just called My Service. And so to make it configurable in the standard Spring Boot EDM with, you can also add a class from files that you need not do this way, and no Spring, in that case, that you need to run the configuration itself. We want to write unit tests. Okay, cool. So that means that this is a service component. What is the difference between this? Oh, this is a properties file. No, this is not a properties file. This is just serviceproperties.com or .java. Well, it kind of is a properties file a little bit. It kind of is. Interesting. Okay, so let's just start with this one right here. The library will provide a My Service class that can be used by applications. So we're going to copy, and then we're going to put this in here. And then we're going to make sure, so it's multi-module.service enable, but we're going to change this to be referee service. And then we're going to change this also. So I'm going to copy and paste this, Control C, Control V. Oops. Okay. And then that's what we're going to do. So now that we have this referee service, what we need to do is we can go ahead and start writing some code. So this is just service properties and like configuration stuff. This is a class, a constructor, which is fine. We don't really care about this. This is just like another method. So what we want to do though is I'm missing the part where they have paths. Like, aha, there it is. Okay, so that was the problem. So we have this that's called My Service, but I think what we were missing was that we actually didn't have like an application. So this is inside of application. So not library. Oh, I see. Okay. So inside of application, we need to do source, main, Java. This is the application. So we have, actually, I'm thinking of something now. Let me go to the complete one and let's just modify that so that we don't, so if you're following along at home, go into the complete folder and use that to be the basis for writing your code. Perfect. So Now let's go ahead. We're going to keep this as demo application, but what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out how to modify this to fit what we're looking for. So this is demo application. I want us to change this file. So like rename. I want to rename it to be referral app.java. So I'm also going to change this to be referral app. Okay. And then I'm going to just replace that wherever it is. So Control C. I'm going to leave that the way that is because I want to change it later. Control V. Okay, cool. So now we have this referral app, and it looks like for the most part what it needs to have, it has. So now we have our constructor here. And so these are basically the requests, which is why it's so straightforward when you think about it, right? Like writing an API, it's truly very straightforward. Yeah, there's going to be like, like you technically will be calling like different methods and it's going to go all the way down. But for the most part, like the idea of it is very simple. So let's go ahead and let's start with, and this is the referral app. Let's start with like, what path did we start with or did we ask for first? We said we're going to do like just dash, like dash referrer and then dash name. So let's start with that. So let's say like you go to the path and it's going to be, if you're following along on the Google Doc, it's going to be a post request. So we're going to do, I'm going to have to open up a new tab because I forget post request mapping Spring Boot. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it's just called at request mapping. That's what the language is. So it's at request mapping because it's going to be a post request. And it's going to be at request mapping, and it's going to be dash. It's going to be dash refer, which technically, yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Dash refer, and then it's going to be dash. We're going to have some sort of like replacement. Oh, hi, welcome back. Oh, I'm highlighting this comment. Welcome back. So refer, and then we're gonna come back and just replace this with like a placeholder, but we're just gonna say like dash code unique URL. Unique. I hope you can see my screen because this is stuck on pom.xml. That does look like it's stuck on pom.xml. That's not correct. I'm literally on referral. How come you can see? Wait. Oh no. What in the world is this showing you? Where did it get this screen from? Oh no. I'm literally typing. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You can't see the typing. I'm typing. Okay, let me try again. Let me stop. Stop screen. Let me try again. Let's say we want to present, share screen, screen 1. This is me, so not screen 1. Screen 2. So it's not like it's not updating. That's what it seems like. Does that make sense? Like, for example, you see how right here, right? So you can see I'm typing, I say unique URL, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just open a new tab. Oh, so maybe it's like my computer is taking a minute because you see how like I open a new tab, but it's still glitchy. Is it glitchy for you, the audience, or is it just glitchy for me? Interesting. Okay, so what if I close this tab? Wow, so it takes a minute, like it's really stuck. This can't be my computer because I've used this. That's super weird. Well, that sucks. Interesting. That really does suck. Okay. So, okay, well, I will try not to. Okay, so I'm zooming in now, so hopefully that kind of helps a little bit, but I will try not to switch tabs. What does this person say? They say glitchy for both of us. Damn, that sucks. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's terrible. Okay. So, okay, so I was working on this post request, right? So we're making a post request. The value is dash unique URL. And what it does is literally it's going to like return something. So what we wanted to return, so let's make a comment for ourselves in this API, is we wanted to basically, let's go to our Google Doc. What did we want? Damn, you can't even see that. I just switched to Google Doc. This kind of sucks. I don't know why it's happening. That's really annoying. How am I supposed to write code and move and have fun and show people if it's not updating? Ugh, that sucks. I don't like this. Okay, so post a request to with the following query. Okay, so let me write this down. So we're going to post a, well, what we want to return. So the value needs to be, so input needs to be name, email, resume, and notes. And so what we need to return, so then what we need to do is we need to call base method, and like, I guess we could call it like maybe a display or like get referrals maybe, or something like maybe like a get referral data maybe. So call get refer, or just, yeah, call get refer data, and pass in this info. And then what we need to return is we need to return, well, it's a post request. So technically, we don't need to, oh, we do need to return something. So return a list from that method that that has every single referee under that person. Cool. So that's our first thing. And then now, if we were to have another method, which we are another path is that it's going to be a get request. So at get mapping. And this time it's going to be dash refer dash name dash referees. That's what it's going to be. But I need the quotation mark. Okay. So in this one, we're just going to say public. It doesn't matter what we return right now, but the idea is that this is just getting all referees, right? So we take in input for this one, right? Needs to be just literally just like, it's okay. We have the, name, I guess name. Input is literally like name. And then action is calling get refer data. That's what the action is. And then result or return is going to be return a list of that data. So maybe what we're actually going to do inside of here is we're going to call get refer data, but maybe we can have two get, not get, maybe update. There we go, like update refer data. That's very smart. So we're going to call update refer data, pass in this information. It'll help us update it. And then we're going to call get refer data. Wow, that makes sense. Refer data. And that will give us the list that we need. So these are the two paths of writing. Like, it's very simple, very straightforward. This should be like a very easy win for us to flesh out. And we might not finish it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. The point is that we're learning about the mappings and what you can do with Java. So now let's go ahead and let's actually start building out like our code, like the classes and stuff. So, oops. maybe inside of here, we have like a new file and we call it referrer.java. So let's think about this, right? So how do you even start a Java document? Sorry, I know I'm a software engineer and you can't even see that either. I just changed tabs, but Java syntax, new, like class. Not even new class, just new, like how do you start a Java file? Like for example, in this one, it was just packages, then it was just public class. So, oh, isn't it PSMV or something like that? Public static main void. Well, does, yeah, I guess that does matter here. Okay, anyway. Just like, is there like a, let's see, maybe a, let's go to Java. Aha, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Okay, but we don't really care about the main, actually. We don't care about that part. What's Java? I got to take an intermission to answer that question. Wait, are you being serious? Are you being sarcastic? I promise it's okay if you're like, it doesn't matter which one, but I am curious to see like how you found yourself here, but you are not familiar with Java, or if you're making fun of me because I said, how do you start a class? Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. Yeah, no, literally, that's how I feel. I'm like, what is going on here? Okay, so we have our main class. Okay, at least you can see that. So, woo. But the class is not called main, though. We're going to call the class. We're going to call the class refer. Okay. So let's think about this. Well, no, let's think about it. We already have it in our Google Doc. So let's just go back to our Google Doc. So our referrer, right? When we think about a refer, what are some fields that, oh, it doesn't matter. What are some fields that we need to have? So we need to have a name. So private string name, or let's do referrer name. We need to have private string referrer email. We need to have private string. And some of this might not be really fleshed out. Like the getter and setter methods, I'm not writing that. Sorry. Like I don't think we have enough time. We need to like get to like, we might not even get this working. We might not get it working, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to get this, the bare bones, and then that's all that matters. Because I think what's most important is learning how to build an API and how you can do it in this language, right? So referrer email, let's do referrer employer. And then we're going to do private string referrer unique link. And then we're going to do private string refer, oh, not private string, but private list. Actually, I don't even need any of these things. So I just do like name, you know, just name. But no, yeah, we could just do name. We could just do that, just name. Because I feel like that makes it a little bit longer than it needs to be, right? Email, employer, unique link. Okay, so now we're gonna have this list that is of type string, and then we're gonna call it list or all referees. And then we're gonna have a private string status of referrals. So I think we said we were gonna have a hash map somewhere, right? Yep, we said we're gonna have a hash map. So maybe let's do that. Let's do private hash map, and it's going to be string, but then it's going to be a list of lists, correct? Yep, it's going to be a list. So it's going to be list, and it's going to be of string, and it's just going to be all the, so the key is the referee. Oh, Oh, so it's a okay, so it's a string for sure, and then list of strings. Okay. And then so then the idea is that what is inside, so all referees, but the key is that it's the referee mapped. So like for example, if like Emily put in like resume, she put in email, etc, but then John put in resume, email, etc. Okay, so we're making a hash map of this. And so we already got the hash map. What it's going to be is going to be a string and lists. But what we need is we need what the actual thing is going to be. So we're going to call it like referee data. Okay, sounds good to me. And I think we're not going to do a hash map because we could have people with multiple different names, right? Like we could have multiple Emilys. So let's just do a list of lists, baby. Let's just do a list of lists. So it's a list, right? And then that's what it's going to be. Perfect. 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 So now we're not doing getter and setter methods. I'm sorry. We're not, because I don't actually, can you do that in here? Like, can you like generate getter setter methods? I don't know if you can. Let me quickly look at extensions to see. Oh, there it is. Installed because the session is new. That makes sense. Okay, let's do. Oh, none of these are available for the web. That's a little bit annoying. Okay, then let's go back to our code. So, where was I? Yeah. So we're writing this. I don't feel like generating getter and setter methods for them. I really do not feel like it. But what I do remember is that we have some methods we want to do. So we have update referrer data. Or like get all referees. That's a good one. Okay, so we're gonna call get all referees method. And that's going to give it to us. Actually, you know what? Fine. I'll do a getter setter method. I'll write it. I'll do it out. Okay. So how do you write a method in Java? Oh, you need a constructor though first. So let's do public referrer. For this constructor, it's okay to just actually, no, it's not okay. We need like an actual thing. We need name. We need all of this stuff. We need like string name, we need string email, we need string employer. What else do we need? That's it. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do this dot name is equal to name, this dot email is equal to email, this dot employer is equal to employer, this dot, and then we're going to set the unique link. So for this one, maybe we could just do like a method that sets the unique link. So we're going to do this dot unique link is equal to, well, not necessarily, that doesn't make sense. We could just do unique, because it has access to it, is equal to set unique link. And that's going to return something for us. So for this, maybe we can pass a name, right? Name could be helpful, and maybe email. And we could use that information to do something really cool. Okay, so now we've set the unique link. We have the refer, and now we have this object. Perfect. So now the next method we need to write is we need to work on the set unique link method. So it's going to be another public method, and it's going to return a string. And it's just going to be called set unique link. It's going to take string name, string email. And then in this, how do we want to generate a unique link for this person? Maybe what we could do is we could do like unique or like string. Yeah, maybe we could do that. We could do like unique link is equal to, or let's do like string temp is equal to like name plus email dot length, maybe? Because that could be cool. And then maybe like plus, but like concatenated, right? So like name, plus email dot length plus like maybe yeah, so like however long the email is plus like name dot, what are some cool stuff you could do with Java string methods? What are some interesting things we can do? We can get the length. We got that. Oh, maybe plus name dot length. Maybe that could be random enough, actually. Maybe that could be random enough. And so we're just going to return temp. And so that's going to be the person's unique link. So that's their name. That's what it is. All right, cool. Moving on to the next method that we need to do. So the next method that we need to do is the next method that we need to run or write is, so we've gotten the set unique link. Let's go back to our application. So this says we're going to pass in a certain amount of thing called update referrer data. So let's go ahead and let's just do update referrer data. Doesn't need to return anything. It can just be void. So we're going to do update referrer data. So for this update referrer data, if you want to tell us you want to update somebody's data, you got to give us some information, right? So you need to send us like maybe, oh my God, I just thought about something. Why don't we just make it a list of, of just objects? Like literally just list of referees objects. So then we don't need a list of lists. We just need a list of referees objects, because then it's setting, wow, that was actually kind of genius of me. So it's just a list of referee. That's it. That's literally what it is. It's going to be a list of referee, and it's going to be all referees. That's what it's going to be. Because if you think about it, you could just do all referees dot all refer, like it should actually not even be that difficult. It could just be going through the list. Wow, that was so smart. Okay. So in that case, if you're telling us you want to update referrer data, maybe what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a constructor. So like maybe when you say update referrer data, actually, before we do that, maybe we need to create a constructor with this data. So like create referee object with the data, and then pass that object into update referrer data and pass in this object. And all it will do is just, add it to the list. That is actually so smart. That is literally so smart. But then one thing we got to make sure though is that we're returning a list from that method that has every single referee under that. So maybe instead of returning a list, we're going to say like call, like maybe display, like in a good way, display referee data. And this will return a list that's really pretty and cool. Okay, cool. So update referrer data, let's look at that again in here. So it's creating the referee data with the object, which we can probably just call, like just referee object equals this. Okay, that makes sense. And then call update refer. That means that needs an object. It needs like a referee. And so once it has that information, all it's doing is it's going to like our list and it's just doing all referees. Oh, let's initialize this list if it doesn't already exist. Like this dot all referees equals new list string. Perfect. Wow, I feel like Steve Jobs right now. This is what Steve Wozniak felt like when he was building Apple. I don't know if he actually, I have no clue who built Apple, but whoever they are, I feel like a genius right now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do all referees dot add referee. That's all it does. That's literally it. It's just updating it. That's literally it. Perfect. Now, let's go back to our referral app and let's figure out what else we need. So we got this part. We're going to add this in there. We got this part where we call it and pass in this object, and then get all referees method that will give us the data. Get all referees method that will give us the data. We don't need to do that actually. We just need to say display referee data, I think. Because if we say we have the referee object, we've added it to our larger list of everybody that we need to keep track of, but we ultimately want that information, we want that list. So maybe what we could do is, how do we display that data? Maybe update referrer gives us a list of the new data. So then we can just pass that in. Wow, that's so smart. Okay, so we have this data and it's like just list of, referee or list of referees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say add it and then just return all. So like the new version of it. Okay, so we're making progress. So now we're going to go back here and we're going to do this last one, display referee data. So update referee data. Okay, so now we want to okay. Now what we want to do is we want to display it. So it should be like just printed out. No, because it's going to be a response. That's not how APIs work. You give somebody something in like you don't just return, right? You can't just return you can return a string, but like application-json. Not with path variables, not with requests. But like I'm trying to see how we can get some sort of you say application.json, but like I'm trying to think. How can we? I'm not super sure, but let's just leave it as void right now. And I'm going to take a piece of my bread. Okay. Display. Display. Okay, I'm done eating my bread, I think. Okay. So we're going to go through all the data in there. And what we're going to do is, let's think about this. So we want to give the user access to something. We have the referrer data. So now what we want to do is we just want to like give it back to them. So maybe we could just return a list. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe we could just do that. Just return a list. Oh, but then the problem is you have to do like referee dot. Okay, that's true. That's true. That's true. So maybe we'd need to do something like maybe print it out. Maybe, or something like that. So it's kind of like a r dot name, r dot email, r dot, what else did we have on here? R dot resume, r dot note. So that's probably what would make the most sense to do. And so, yeah, we can just keep it as void. Okay, well, that looks like that makes sense for the referrer. You can always come back and add stuff and remove stuff. But now we need to add something that's going to be called referee. So referee.java. Okay, so public class referee. And here it's going to be private string name, private string email, private string resume, private string notes. Cool. So with this, it really should just be that simple. Yeah, you have getter and setter methods, but I feel like it should be pretty easy from there. So now we're done with our base. So now let's put it all together. So we said this is not home. This is going to be called like get referee data. That's what it literally. No. This is a get request. So it's actually update referee data. Yep, that's right. It's update referee data. That's what it is. So we said this earlier, right? That like it's going to have all this information. So let's go ahead and let's get these parameters. So not corner cases, but yep, there it is. Okay. So we have request mapping. We have at response body. So it needs to give us something back. And then we have to do something like this. So at request, not request mapping, babe, request param. Cool. So now we're just going to say name. We're going to keep doing more. So it's going to be name. It's going to be string name. We're going to have another one. I'm going to copy and paste this. But yeah, dude, I feel like this is so straightforward. And then we're going to copy and paste this another time because we have about 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of name here, it's going to be email. And instead of here, it'll be email. And then here, it'll be Resume. And then here it'll be resume 2. And then here it'll be note. Okay, so we got that part right. So now, once we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to call refer. Oh, we need a constructor. Okay, so we're going to do public. We're going to do referee. And it's just going to take in all of this information. So string name, string email, string resume, string note. And it's just setting them. So it's just saying this dot name is equal to name. This dot email is equal to email. This dot resume. This dot note is equal to note. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our application and we're going to say, let's create an object. Let's go ahead and create an object. Was that a bad British accent? Was that actually really bad? Or do you think that could be real? That could be a good British accent, you think? Or do you think it could be terrible? Thank you. Is that how the British say it? They say thank you. They say thank you. Like I say thank you. They say thank you, like with like a th. Okay, now I'm just talking to myself, I feel. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's create an object. So we're going to say referee. So let's say like referee current referee is equal to new referee. And we're going to pass in all this information. We're going to do name, we're going to do email, we're going to do resume, and we're going to do notes. And then we're going to add a semicolon. So we've done that part. So now we're going to call update referrer data. So we're going to do referrer dot update referee data. And we're going to pass in this current referee. And that's going to help us keep track of it. And so now once we're done with that, we're going to say, hey, display referee. Referee data. And I don't think we need to pass anything inside of it. And that should be what it returns. My only issue is I'm not sure in API language if this is going to work or if this is going to cause an error. I'm not super sure. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. So with this one, this is a get, right? So we have this input as name, so it's going to give us that. So let's update this a little bit. Let's make it, because it's going to be a parameter. It's a get request. So request mapping. And at response body. And then let's work on this. So it's going to be like this. It's going to be exactly what we have here. But it's going to be like unique link. And it's going to be URL. And so in this case, with this one, what we're doing is we're going to say input is name. So we got the name. Action is calling get referrer data and then returning a list of that data. So it should be as simple, I feel, as we're just trying to get the data. So with display referrer data, does that take anything? Or just get all referrer data? So let me replace that name because that was wrong. So let's change it to be right here. And then we're going to call it not get all referees. We're gonna say we're gonna say get all referee data. I'm trying to think. What am I trying to do? Get all referees. So what I'm trying to do is I have the URL. Oh, I just want to do get all, literally this right here. Okay. Sorry, I had a brain freeze right there. I just want to call that method. I just want to say this exactly right here. So Control C, because right now we don't have a database, right? So like technically it's just one referee or one referrer. And so we should just be able to call that and that should be able to get us the information. But I saw somebody put a question. They said, can't you, oh, I want to highlight the question. So this person asking, can't you index it? Let me understand what you're asking. Are you asking about indexing? Hopefully it's not too zoomed out. Are you asking about indexing this? Or are you asking about indexing like index? When you're index numbers, you're trying to like get the position of something. What do you mean by why would we need to index anything if we're trying to get all of somebody's data versus like one particular referrer? Does that make sense? Like what can you explain your question a little bit better? Thank you. Okay. I'm feeling good about this, I feel. Like I feel like this makes sense. No? Like I feel like this makes sense. I feel like this could definitely like could be built upon. Like this like looks good, I feel. Like we worked on our API, we did the request mapping, we did this, like, and I'm gonna explain it a little bit better. And then that's it, really. But I mean, not that's it, but like for the most part, the hardest part is over. Okay, so let's see what this person says. I'm not too familiar with Java, but you could put all of their data, so I'm assuming referee data, okay, into one object. And then you give them an ID and then you index them by ID. Okay, so the first part of your point is already being done, right? So let me just make sure I understand what you're saying. We are already storing all of it inside of an object. That part's already being done. But you're saying you're giving them an ID and index them by ID. And then you follow up and said, where you give the ID increments for each new referral. For each new referral. That means we would have a hash map. Is that what you're saying? So you're saying we would have like some sort of like dictionary, some sort of hash map, whatever that equivalent is in C++. And it would be like ID, like 1, and then an object, 2, and then an object, 3, and then is that what you're asking? Is that what you're saying? In case you want to get the newest referral or the oldest referral. Okay, wait, now you're confusing me. Because I thought when you were, unless because of the lag, maybe because, let me wait a minute. Maybe you have like, let me just wait 1 minute. Let me look at my computer and wait 1 minute. Just wait 1 minute. Maybe you have more messages coming in because now you confuse me. Okay, I think that might be all your questions, all of your messages. So you were asking about like where you ID increments for each new referral. So you're saying like ID 1, object, ID 2, object, ID 3, object, ID 4, object. That's what you're saying, right? To store it like that. My thing is, if you're saying we should do it like that, will there ever be, well, I guess there could be actually, if you want to get the newest referral for the old or the oldest one, where you're like, what has come in since I came in? Then you have the ID mapped to. That is interesting. That is very interesting. I'm thinking about it. That does make sense. Okay, let me add that to the Google Doc just so I can track it. I'm being such a product manager right now. Like, look at me taking in requests and like storing them. So let's make something with a referee. Have an ID to equate like referees to time. So like newest versus oldest. Okay, cool. Did you see that? JK. Anyway, okay, so yeah. This feels like this makes sense to me. This feels like it works. This totally sounds good. Now I'm going to use this next portion of it to kind of get some questions from the audience. I know we only have like 12 people. Well, let me remove this right here. This part, I want to make sure I'm like helping you understand how APIs work. With Java, if there's anything that you have questions about, so like maybe you were building it on your own with C++, I'm curious to see like what you built, not what you built, sorry, if you had any questions, like any question. Okay, okay, ignore everything I literally said up on, just ignore everything. Let me rephrase my questions. One, now that we've been able to see how an API in Java, let me go back here, is written and constructed, I'm curious to hear from you all. Do you have any questions about how APIs work in Java? Any questions at all, like about the request, the body of the request? I think that's what I want us to focus on, because getting it to work, yeah, that's important, but that's just like debugging stuff. But if you can understand how like Java and like Spring Boot thinks about like a request and an API request, you'll see that it's so easy. Like it's so straightforward. Like it's not even, it's because it's just a layer. It's just a layer around your data, right? Your application, your service. And so if you have any questions at all about writing an API in Java, etc., ask them now. If not, I will move on to my next question because I have some questions for you all. I'm going to check Discord in the meantime to see if maybe there are any questions posted there. I don't think so, but we can check. Let's see. Let us see. Okay, no questions on Discord. No questions on Twitch either. Okay. So now I want to hear, another question I want to hear is, how many of you followed along in terms of building your own API in Java as well? Like even just like a little show of hands, or like a little like me, or like I did build my own API, but maybe not in Java, maybe in another language, or you were just watching. I'm just curious to see like if anybody also ended up with an API or APIs that were written in Java from this 2-part session. Okay, just watching. All right, sounds good. And then finally, this is the part, okay, I feel like everybody should at least have an answer to this one, is how many of you, or like not how many of you, sorry, what was something that you didn't know before about APIs, about Java, etc., that you learned from either this session or even the first one? But I'm just curious, like, what is something that you took away from how APIs are written in Java, or how APIs are written in general, or APIs in general, just something that you learned that you didn't know before that. That APIs can get fetched through JSON data. That's true. Or like you mean the opposite way, that APIs can give you JSON data, right? That's what you mean? Yeah. So I know it's really cool because it makes it so much more standardized, right? Like you don't have to worry about like formatting in a different way. Like you know you're always going to get JSON data. At that point, you just need to figure out how to break it down, right? Like it's just a nested list, like right. That's what a JSON is. Like it's just nested list. So I think I agree. I think that like it's really cool to see that that's like very universal, and that's really cool to see. And that's honestly one thing I really like about working as a software engineer, specifically working on APIs. It's like such a universal format. But like, how do you get the JSON data for the API? I'm so glad you asked that question. Do you see this right here? Oh, you can't see that it's changed screens. This is so annoying. It makes me so mad. Okay. So I'm gonna copy and paste it and put in my thing right here, and you see. So let's copy and paste this right here. I'm gonna put it at the bottom so you can see a little bit better. Okay. Can you see? Oh my God, you can't see? Wait, okay, I'm scrolling. Can you see line 47? I'm highlighting it right now. Damn, you can't see it? So what have you been able to see? Ugh, this is really annoying. Like I'm really frustrated right now. It's making me want to. Damn, okay, let me stop again. Oh, this is so annoying. I really hate that. Like the entire time I was sharing as I was writing code. So that's probably why you asked me about the index question, because you probably couldn't see my current screen. That's annoying. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so now I'm highlighting this, right? So do you see this right here? How we have this response body? You can't even see that I'm scrolling up and down. Damn. You know, Wombo, have you noticed this happen for other people, like throughout this entire week? Like anybody who's like maybe sharing their screen and it being like glitchy or not responsive or not updated? Like, have you noticed this for any other person this entire week? Also, maybe not Wombo, maybe Womb. I should call you that instead. Oh, I don't know if you heard my question, Womb. Have you noticed this? Oh, only for Kushna, but that was connection issues. Damn. Is it my computer? That's really sucks. Well, that's so bad. I don't even remember if this happened on Monday. I don't recall anymore. Damn, I can't believe it's only me. Okay, well, at least you can see what I'm highlighting. Do you see this right here? Oh my gosh. Can you? Okay, either way. So pay attention to my mouse then in that case. Pay attention to my mouse right here. You see where it says application-JSON? That's where it knows that you get the JSON data for the API. Once you include that, Spring is smart enough to know that whatever you give me, I'm going to give it to the user in JSON data. Like it's literally that simple. Now, I do not know how it works for other languages though, and other frameworks, like with Flask for Python APIs. Actually, I don't know any other thing else that you can use to write APIs. I know you can use Flask for Python APIs, you can use Spring for Java APIs, but I don't know about the rest. But like, do you see how like smart it is to know that, like, oh, you want it in a certain format? Let me give it to you in a certain format. So that's to answer your question. Let me highlight it. How do you get JSON data for the API? It's from attaching a prefix in your code, in your configuration, letting Spring know that like, hey, babe, I need you to do it this way. So yeah. Check your display settings. Okay, wait, before we talk about this, anybody else who is here, do you want to share what else you have learned from building an API during this session, or maybe the first one that you didn't know before? That's going to be the question I close us out with, and then we're going to troubleshoot my display settings. But I want to just ask like a last call. Is there anybody who has any question, or not question, sorry, anybody that wants to share something that they learned that they didn't know about API before? Anybody? I just want to know, what was something you left here with? right? Like, what is something you didn't know before that now you know? I want to know. Let's see. I'm trying to also find my I'm trying to find the check-in link. Copy. Oh no. Oh, copy. Control. Okay, let's go back to StreamYard. Okay, nobody says that. So I'm gonna put the check-in link, and that's gonna be what I use. And that's gonna be us talking. We're done talking about APIs right now, unless anybody has any questions or comments. Don't forget to check in. Okay, Womb, if you're still here, tell me how I'm supposed to fix this problem. You said check your display settings. Okay, let's see. So let's go to system preferences. Display. I'm gonna actually, let me see. Oh no, I don't want to. I feel like that would be really annoying. Let's see. Display. Oh, displays. Okay, so what is this saying? Oh, it says resolution. That's not what matters, right? Automatically adjust brightness. That doesn't matter either. True tone. That doesn't matter either. Rearrange the displays. That doesn't matter. Color. I don't think that matters, right? Night shift. That doesn't matter either. Yeah, dude, it's just, or do you think it's the resolution, like default for display versus scaled? No, that just means space. Oops. That just means space. I think that's normal. Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, that just means space. Like, for example, I'm still doing this right here. Oh, okay, at least maybe it actually is a little bit better now. Maybe, because I'm doing this, right? Oh, no, it's still glitchy. It's still glitchy because I'm done highlighting, but it's still showing that I highlighted. Yeah, no, dude, I don't know. I'm going to just stop sharing my screen. It was great hanging out with you all this evening. I hope you really learned something. Womb, you're a real one. And all the other 18 people who are watching. This was very fun. This was really cool and fun. It was great. Yeah, make sure you check in so you can get points. And if nobody has any questions or comments, I'm going to end this stream. Oh, I don't have a Windows computer, Womb. Unless that's, because you say Win, right? Win means that's the Windows shortcut, right? I don't have a Windows computer. I have a Mac. Unless I'm wrong, and you do, like, that does apply for Mac. Am I wrong? I think Win does stand for Mac. You're a Mac hater. Oh, I gotta end the stream. You're a Mac hater. A Mac hater in public. Like, you're saying it out loud. You're being like, yeah, my name is Womb and I am a Mac hater. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta end the stream. It's time for me to go. A Mac hater? Goodbye. Arrivederci. Adios. Au revoir. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But I guess in that case, well, I don't know. Nobody can help me. But in all seriousness, though, thank you, everybody, for joining. Make sure you check in on the link. It was really fun hanging out with you all. If you're watching this, the replay, I hope you get to build your own API and you get to, like, see what we did and, like, watch it back and be like, wow, I know so much about Java. Yeah, I will see you at the next Global Hack Week next month. Have fun, enjoy your weekend, and don't be a Mac hater like Womb, okay? Don't be like Womb. Good night. Bye.